What's going on, my intergalactic pals? And today, going over some rules, and I'm doing it in a different way, so you could see a board state and see how the cards are, and I'm more likely gonna stick to that kind of way of explaining rules, especially if I can explain it with cards. But with that being said, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. We are going into the Galactic Championship fairly soon, unless you're watching this video right after that. Hi, from the past. So let's get into it. So let's pretend that this is my board state. Pretend. And my opponent just defeated my Lothcat. Right? My undefeated, I exhaust something on their board. And I go, I really don't. I might as well just use the action for Yoda, which is if a unit left play this phase, draw a card, then put a card from my hand on top of my deck, on top or bottom of my deck. So I go ahead and activate Yoda, and I go and draw, and it's Ray. It's the new Ray. So put this here. So this says, when you draw this card during your action phase, if you control a red leader or base, you may reveal this card from your hand. If you do 2 damage to a unit and to a base. So I don't want to put it in my hand, actually, because then my opponent could my opponent doesn't know it's in my hand. But when I draw it, I could reveal it and say, oh, I'm gonna use its effect, but I still have to resolve this. Or you could, I believe, have it like this, so your opponent knows, hey, it's there, and they don't think that. I feel this is a little bit more safe, but I guess depends on who the judge is at the time, or the head judge. But I don't want this to go in my hand, because then if I were to draw it and I put this card here, my opponent didn't know that I drew this. They're not going to know anything. So it's better not put it into the hand and mix up that information. So you just say, you can go, hey, I'm going to reveal this for Yoda. I don't want to put it in my hand because I don't want that information to get mixed up. Or you could say, hey, I'm going to reveal the Ray, but I'm going to have it backwards so that way you could see it. And then I could do this. They don't know what card I'm putting back. But, okay, hey, Ray goes off. You saw it, it's there, so I'm going to do the 2 damage, and now it goes into my hand. Let's go back. Let's say my opponent played this. Lethal, Lothal, Insurgent. When played, if you played another card this phase, each opponent draws a card, then discards a card at random from their hand. So let's say my opponent played this. I'm like, oh man, I gotta draw a card and discard. Oh, it's that Ray. But I have to discard still. I don't want to put this in my hand because it's gonna mess up that information. I can't leave it out because then my opponent could. It says random. So what I can do is say, hey, I have this Ray. I drew it, but I don't want it to get mixed up or anything like that. So what we can do is either A, roll a dice. I have 4 cards. She'll be 1, and then 2, 3, 4. Roll a dice. Or say, you know what? Just in case, or if you have another sleeve, obviously, get a token. I'm gonna put a token into my hand, so we know, hey, the token is the Ray. I'm going to go ahead and put it in my hand, and we could do this. And then, okay, go ahead, pick a card. All right, well, it's a different card. So we know that Ray, the token is the Ray, so I'm going to go ahead and resolve that Ray effect still. But again, this is all up to the judge or the head judge, depending on what you're playing. But ideally, you don't want to have this enter your hand after drawing, because then no one knows that you drew it. And then what if you had 2? What if I had 2 in my hand and you discard 1, and I'm like, oh, the one that you discard is this one. This is the one I drew. You're discarding the one. We're in magical Christmas land. This managed to survive. We've already played Jedi Trials on it. We gave it the General's Blade now. and it's managed to get the 1 experience from attacking. So let's just go over all this real quick. Jedi Trials. Attached unit gains on attack, gain an experience token to this unit. While attached unit has 4 or more upgrades on it, it gains the Jedi trait. Perfect. General's Blade. It says, attached to a non-vehicle unit. If attached to a Jedi, it gains on attack. The next unit you play this phase costs 2 less. Well, we managed to get 1 experience from the Jedi Trials. So now we're going to go ahead and make sure we stack these lovely effects on top of each other so we know what's where. And it's now our phase to attack. It's our action. We are now the active player. As the active player, I say, I want to attack. Because it's going to get that experience token. There we go. So we get another experience token. Yippee. He is now stronger. And I think, well, now that he has 4 or more upgrades on it, this should trigger on the attack. Unfortunately, it doesn't. Because that 4th upgrade wasn't there during the attack declaration. So because I get that experience before or after I declared my attack, these go on. They both do their checks. This says, hey, give it an experience token. This says, hey, is it a Jedi? Wasn't a Jedi when it attacked, so it doesn't get it. But he still gets the experience. He is now a Jedi, so if he survives another round and I attack, that General Blade would go off. Alright, let's say, for all intents and purposes, this is my hand. It doesn't matter. We're not going to play the cards that are in it. We're going to play in Magical Christmas Land. We're going to use the base, Night Sister's Lair. When a friendly Force unit attacks, the Force is with you, so we create a Force token. Perfect. Our leader is Anakin Skywalker. What it takes to win: action, deal 2 damage to your base. Attack with the unit. If it's attacking a unit, it gets +2/+0 for the attack. Okay. Well, and we have the daughter. She's ready. She can attack if I want to. Her ability is, when damage is dealt to your base, you may use the Force. If you do, heal 2 damage from your base. I don't have the Force token yet, so what I want to do is I'm going to activate Anakin's ability. I'm going to do 2 damage to my base, so we're going to put damage on it, like such. Then I'm going to target the daughter. The daughter will attack. I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to attack your base. I attack for 4. As the attack is being declared, I'm going to generate that Force token. I deal my 4 damage, and it says, hey, I have the Force, and 2 damage was done to my base. I'm going to go ahead and use that and heal. Now, you're probably thinking, why or how? And the process is, for Anakin to do all that, I would use the action to deal 2 damage to my base. I would pick the daughter as the attacker. I would get the Force for attacking with the daughter, generating that Force token. Then once I complete the attack, I could then use the daughter's ability to heal that 2 damage from my base because I have the Force token to spend at that point. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, please be safe out there in that big galactic world of ours. I'll see you around.